Now, once a symbol of political power and constant activity, the Capitol Hill office of the late Raila Odinga is now a pale shadow of its former self. The busy hallways that once hosted influential leaders, diplomats, and ordinary citizens are now steeped in silence and uncertainty. NTV's Zachary Nyakweba spoke to the late former Prime Minister's personal assistant, Jack Nyamburi, and the then senior administrator, Florence Olang, who managed, accessed, and helped shape Raila Odinga's influence.
Asanteni sana kwa kutembelea mashabiki.
Whenever the late former Prime Minister Raila Odinga stepped into his Capitol Hill office in Nairobi, the atmosphere would instantly shift. The space buzzed with activity as politicians, diplomats, business leaders, and everyday Kenyans moved in and out. Members of staff hurried along corridors, organizing meetings, conveying messages, and handling the steady stream of visitors, eager to see the man mainly referred to as Baba.
What exactly happened?
Jack Nyamburi, former personal assistant to the late Raila Odinga, remembers a system that thrived on constant movement, influence, and urgency. But that world, he says, disappeared almost overnight.
The office is a ghost area. Sometimes the whole day, not even sometimes, most of the time, nobody comes to that office.
Florence Olang, a senior administrator who spent a decade at Capitol Hill, shared similar reflections, describing the current silence as not just emotional, but also profoundly personal.
Now, there's a lot of idleness. There's not much work, per se.
Their memories of Raila Odinga remain vivid. His leadership style, they say, was hands-on and deeply personal.
Any issues, whether they're personal or official, and he was able to sort out very well.
On Tuesday, 23rd September 2025, just a day after chairing an ODM parliamentary group meeting in Machakos County, Odinga made what would become his final visit to Capitol Hill. Nyamburi, who was appointed as Raila's personal assistant in January 2023, says the hardest change has been the silence from leaders who once relied on him. Calls and messages now go unanswered.
I've been calling some of these members of parliament and even some ministers, cabinet secretaries from our party. None has picked. CS Opio and I, he's a good man. Sometimes, if he's not busy, he picks.
Amid the uncertainty, Odinga's daughter, Winnie Odinga, stepped in, offering temporary support during a meeting held at the Jaramogi Oginga Odinga Foundation.
Winnie gave us $50,000. I really want to appreciate her for that. No one has ever done that.
Jack now calls on President William Ruto to honor commitments made during Odinga's funeral.
Their contract basically is going to elapse in July before being absorbed into a permanent and pensionable. Where will they go? Where will these people go?
Amid deep divisions within ODM, following Raila's death, the former personal assistant urges leaders to act fast before the party loses its way.
And even where Baba is in heaven, if he were to be told that this is what is happening in his party, probably will die again for the second time. Because Baba, I know, was a unifying force.
As the dust settles, one question still lingers. What next for those who depended on Raila since their future remains uncertain? Zachary Nyakweba, NTV, Nairobi.
Quite an interesting story there by Zachary Nyakweba, and for the benefit of those who are trying to do the conversion of what Winnie Odinga gave them, according to the gentleman there, that's about 6.46 million Kenya shillings at the current exchange rate.